Hey, Niners fans, buckle up because we have a lot to unpack about what's been going on with the San Francisco 49ers lately. The preseason is heating up, and as always, the tension between the Niners and the Raiders is something you can feel all the way through the Bay Area and beyond. Even though the Raiders have bounced around, from Oakland to Los Angeles, back to Oakland, and now settling in Las Vegas, that historic rivalry still sparks whenever these two teams meet on the field or even in joint practices. There's just something about those matchups that gets everyone fired up. The Niners have always been true to the Bay, a team deeply rooted in their home turf, while the Raiders have had a more nomadic path, but the competitive edge remains razor-sharp no matter where they play. Now, diving deeper into the heart of the matter, the biggest cloud looming over the team is the ongoing battle with injuries. You might think it's just a coincidence, but since Kyle Shanahan took the helm back in 2017, the 49ers have been hit hard by injuries year after year. It's almost like a cruel twist of fate for a team trying to build something special. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that they've consistently ranked among the top teams in the league when it comes to players sidelined due to injury. The one shining exception was 2023 when, miraculously, the team stayed relatively healthy and almost clinched the Super Bowl. But everything else has been a roller coaster of setbacks and tough breaks. One of the most promising young players heading into this season was Jordan Watkins, a rookie wide receiver who has really made waves. Drafted in the 4th round, this guy is no ordinary rookie. He runs a blazing 4.3 seconds 40-yard dash, and he's got an uncanny ability to track the ball in the air, which is something coaches dream about. If you watch the preseason opener, you saw exactly why there was so much excitement surrounding him. He was electric, moving smoothly, making plays, and showing that speed and skill combo that could make him a real threat in Kyle Shanahan's complex offense. But then, in a cruel twist typical of the Niners' luck, he suffered a high ankle sprain during the second preseason game. At first, it didn't seem too bad. He didn't even feel much pain until the next day, but the diagnosis was serious. He's expected to be out for at least a month, which almost certainly means missing the start of the regular season. That's a huge blow for San Francisco because Watkins was on track to be an important piece of the offense, especially with his rare blend of speed and physicality. He's not just a burner. He's got a strong lower body that helps him fight for extra yards after the catch, something that makes him especially valuable in Shanahan's offense, where wide receivers have to learn a staggering number of routes and be versatile. It's not an easy system to break into as a rookie, and Watkins was showing signs he could handle it, despite the usual rookie mistakes. In fact, during the preseason, he made a jaw-dropping 50-yard catch against Denver that set up a scoring opportunity. That play showed exactly what makes him dangerous: speed, savvy, and toughness. But then, just moments later, he ran the wrong route and threw a careless interception. Shanahan was honest about it, saying Watkins had a classic rookie game with highs and lows. But the potential was definitely there. Now, with this injury, the big question is how much it will set him back, not just for the first few games, but for his entire rookie year. The Niners have invested a lot in him, and it's hard to watch someone with so much upside get sidelined before they've even had a chance to really shine. The injury woes don't stop there, unfortunately. The 49ers have been plagued by health issues all across the board. Last season, they were the most injured team in the entire NFL, and the trend is looking like it will continue in 2025. It's almost surreal how many key players get hurt year after year. It's not just bad luck, it's a pattern that has become part of the team's identity, and it puts a huge strain on the coaching staff and the depth chart. But there is a silver lining in some of the young talent the team has brought in this year. Guys like Jacob Cowing and Isaac Rendo bring raw speed and energy, which is exactly what the offense needs to stay dynamic and unpredictable. Cowing, who ran a 4.4 seconds 40-yard dash at the Combine, had a fantastic spring and looked like he was ready to contribute immediately, but he pulled a hamstring early in training camp. The good news is he's expected to return to practice soon, which will give the offense a much-needed boost. On the defensive side, there's Marquise Seagull, a 5th-round rookie out of Kansas State who has turned some heads. He's fast, clocked a 4.37 at the 40-yard dash, and versatile, able to play both safety and nickel cornerback. He's been flying around the field, making plays, showing great instincts and range. Shanahan himself has said Siegel has a real chance to start this year, which speaks volumes about how much trust the coaches have in this young player. Still, the constant shuffle on the roster caused by injuries is a huge challenge. Veterans like Brandon Ayuk are still on the mend from serious injuries, and his absence for the start of the season is almost certain. The same goes for Malik Mustafa, another promising rookie safety who had to undergo surgery after damaging his ACL late last season. The timing of their returns could be crucial for how the Niners finish the year. Then there's the special teams and depth players stepping up in camp and preseason games. Safety Talanoa Hufanga made a key touchdown-saving tackle in the preseason, showing the kind of hustle and commitment the team needs from every player. And Mike Williams, who recently hyperextended his knee, could miss about a week, but remains an important piece for the defense. It's clear that the San Francisco 49ers are fighting hard to overcome the injury curse and keep their eyes on the prize. With Kyle Shanahan's demanding and intricate playbook, every snap missed means lost reps and slower development, especially for young guys trying to crack the lineup. The pressure to stay healthy has never been higher, and the team's resilience will be tested like never before. What's really fascinating is how this team continues to reload with fresh talent despite the setbacks. The youth movement is real, and players like Watkins, Cowing, Rindo, and Siegel are poised to inject speed and excitement into an offense and defense that both rely heavily on athleticism and precision. The big question for fans is how quickly these young players can learn the ropes and adjust to the NFL grind while staying on the field. Shanahan's offense is known for its complexity, and for rookies, mastering the routes and assignments is a steep climb. But the upside is enormous if they can stay healthy and locked in. As training camp pushes forward and the regular season looms closer, all eyes will be on how these recoveries progress. The Niners coaching staff has to balance pushing players to get back on the field while protecting them from further damage. It's a tightrope walk that could define the trajectory of the team this year. The complexity of Shanahan's system cannot be overstated. This is not an offense where players just line up and run simple routes. Every receiver has to understand a huge playbook filled with multiple route options, adjustments based on coverage, timing nuances, and an almost chess-like level of strategy. For rookies like Jordan Watkins and others, this learning curve can be brutal. It takes more than just speed and hands. It takes mental toughness and constant studying to even get close to being a dependable target. And now, with Watkins sidelined early, that learning process slows down dramatically. He won't get those critical reps in practice or in games that build confidence and chemistry with the quarterback. This highlights a deeper issue for the 49ers, the balance between developing young talent and maintaining a competitive roster. When injuries hit hard, teams often lean on veteran players who can fill in seamlessly. But the Niners veterans aren't immune either. Several key players are nursing injuries or coming off major surgeries, which complicates depth charts and puts even more pressure on the younger guys to step up before they're fully ready. It's a precarious situation. Take Brandon Ayuk, for example. He's been an integral part of the Niners' offense for a few seasons now, known for his explosiveness and ability to create big plays after the catch. Yet, after that devastating knee injury last year, his availability for the start of the season is in serious doubt. His rehabilitation timeline points to a return around mid-season, but that means the team has to survive without one of its top offensive weapons for a significant chunk of the schedule. This puts even more spotlight on receivers like Watkins and Jacob Cowing, who bring speed and potential but still need seasoning in Shanahan's system. On the defensive side, the injury challenges continue. Malik Mustafa's ACL surgery is another tough blow. As a rookie safety with a ton of upside, his early contribution was highly anticipated. But setbacks like this force the coaching staff to shuffle the depth chart and try to find new combinations in the secondary. That's where guys like Marquise Siegel come in. His ability to play multiple roles in the backfield gives the Niners some flexibility, which is crucial when the injury list keeps growing. His speed and instincts are rare commodities, and it's encouraging to see him making plays on special teams and in coverage early in camp. If he can hold down a starting spot or at least a significant role, that would be a huge boost for San Francisco's defense. The story of the 49ers is not just about injuries, but about the broader theme of adaptation. Kyle Shanahan's staff has to constantly adjust game plans and practice reps to compensate for who is healthy and who isn't. This creates challenges, but also opportunities for players who might not have seen the field otherwise. Depth players get their shot. Young rookies can gain valuable experience, and sometimes surprising contributors emerge. It's the kind of chaos that can either break a team or bring out its best, depending on how the coaching staff and players respond. Another layer to this is how the team manages player health during training camp and preseason games. The balance between getting players ready for the grind of the regular season and avoiding pushing them too hard is a delicate art. For example, the decision to hold back key players from participating in joint practices or preseason snaps is often driven by the goal of protecting their health, especially for those returning from injuries. That's why watching how players like Isaac Rendo and Mike Williams are managed during this phase is so important. Their progress or setbacks can have a ripple effect on the team's readiness come game day. One interesting dynamic is the emergence of special teams as a proving ground for many of these young players. In a Shanahan offense and defense that require precision and discipline, the special teams unit becomes a place where rookies and backups can showcase their work ethic, athleticism, and football IQ. Talanoa Hiona's touchdown-saving tackle in the preseason is a perfect example of how these moments can highlight a player's potential and hustle. Special teams often go overlooked in mainstream coverage, but for a team navigating injury challenges, they are a vital piece of the puzzle. Looking at the wide receiver room specifically, the challenge of finding reliable targets for quarterback Brock Purdy looms large. Purdy has proven to be a steady, smart signal caller with the ability to make plays under pressure, but the depth and health of his receiving core will be tested early and often. The loss of Watkins for the start of the season means fewer options to stretch the field and keep defenses honest. That places more burden on veterans and second-year players to step up. But it also opens the door for others to carve out roles by showing consistency in practice and preseason games. It's also worth noting how this injury scenario affects team chemistry. Football is the ultimate team sport, and timing between quarterbacks and receivers or between defenders in the secondary depends heavily on reps in practice and trust built on the field. Every missed practice and game snaps means that chemistry has to be rebuilt, and that can take time. With so many players missing key periods due to injury, the Niners coaching staff will have their hands full trying to keep the unit cohesive and performing at a high level. Beyond just the players, the medical and training staff deserve attention. Keeping a team with so many injuries on the field requires constant evaluation, treatment, and recovery protocols. The Niners have invested heavily in their medical staff and facilities, but some injuries just come down to bad luck or the sheer physical toll of playing an NFL season. The high ankle sprain that Watkins suffered is notoriously tricky to come back from quickly, and the team will have to be patient in his rehab to avoid risking further damage. Another intriguing element is how the younger players adapt, not only physically, but mentally. The pressure to perform and stay healthy in the NFL is intense, especially when a spot on the roster can be lost in an instant. For rookies like Watkins and Siegel, who are still learning the ropes, handling the mental and emotional side of recovering from injuries while trying to earn playing time is a huge challenge. How these players navigate this phase could define their careers and influence the future direction of the team. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Rumors have been swirling around the NFL community, igniting excitement and speculation as word spreads that RAHEEM MOSTERT, the dynamic running back, is potentially returning to the San Francisco 49ers. This news has quickly become the talk of the town, with fans already buzzing about the possibility of MOSTERT once again donning the red and gold jersey. His previous stint with the 49ers was marked by electrifying plays and memorable moments that helped solidify his reputation as a key offensive weapon. As the whispers grow louder, the question on everyone's mind is whether this return will be a reality or just a fleeting hope fueled by optimistic fans. The atmosphere in San Francisco seems charged, with supporters imagining the roar of the crowd as Mostert charges down the field, evoking memories of his past exploits. Speculation extends beyond just the player's on-field contributions. There's talk of the morale boost and leadership he could bring to the locker room, something that the team might desperately need. The potential reunion between Mostert and the 49ers is already creating a wave of enthusiasm, suggesting a story that could evolve dramatically as the offseason progresses and official announcements are possibly unveiled. As this rumor gains momentum, it's impossible not to consider the impact RAHEEM Mostert could have if he indeed rejoins the 49ers. Known for his blistering speed and ability to break through defensive lines, Mostert brought a unique dimension to the team's offense during his previous tenure. Fans and analysts alike speculate about how his return could reshape the team's running game, potentially alleviating pressure on the quarterback and diversifying play strategies. This talk has led to heated debates across sports forums and social media platforms, where supporters dissect every hint and tweet for clues about the player's future. Moreover, insiders suggest that the front office might view this move as a strategic way to bolster the team's depth, especially with the grueling season ahead. The anticipation surrounding Mostert's possible comeback also taps into a larger narrative of redemption and unfinished business, as many feel that his last season with the 49ers ended prematurely due to injuries. This layer of intrigue adds fuel to the fire, making the rumor not just a story about football, but about resilience, hope, and the passion of both player and fans eager to witness a triumphant return. The atmosphere around the 49ers fan base is electric, with chants of excitement reverberating through stadiums and sports bars as speculation about RAHEEM Mostert's return spreads like wildfire. This buzz isn't just limited to casual observers. Seasoned sports journalists and commentators have picked up on the story, often hinting that negotiations could be in advanced stages behind closed doors. The cultural significance of Mostert's potential comeback extends beyond the gridiron. It symbolizes a rekindling of a beloved era and the rekindling of a bond between player and city. From the visual spectacles of his swift, breakaway runs to his gritty determination in tough games, Mostert's style has become synonymous with 49ers football. This potential signing might also impact other players' morale, possibly encouraging a more cohesive and motivated squad eager to reclaim past glories. Fans can be seen wearing Mostert jerseys again, posting throwbacks of his highlights, and eagerly anticipating a season where he might once again play a pivotal role. As the rumor mill churns, the blend of nostalgia and hope keeps the conversation alive, reinforcing the idea that this isn't just a transfer, but possibly a narrative-rich chapter waiting to be written. In light of these growing rumors, the media frenzy surrounding RAHEEM Mostert's potential return to the 49ers has escalated into a full-blown speculation storm. Industry insiders hint at behind-the-scenes talks involving agents, team executives, and coaches, all pointing toward a serious consideration of bringing Mostert back into the fold. The prospect of reuniting with head coach Kyle Shanahan, under whom Mostert thrived, is particularly appealing to fans and analysts who see this as a perfect fit for both parties. Additionally, discussions about contract terms and the player's health status are being dissected in detail by experts eager to predict how this reunion might unfold. The broader implications of this possible move include its impact on the team's salary cap and how it could influence future drafts or free agent signings. The media speculation even extends to possible marketing campaigns celebrating Mostert's return, showcasing how the franchise might leverage this news to energize its fan base. This swirling uncertainty creates a narrative ripe with tension and excitement, making the rumor not just about football, but about a community rallying around the hope of a thrilling comeback season. Amidst all the excitement and speculation, one cannot ignore the palpable anticipation that has gripped the San Francisco 49ers community as rumors intensify about RAHEEM Mostert's possible return. The potential arrival of a player known for explosive plays and clutch performances has sparked conversations that blend football analysis with emotional investment. Fans are envisioning packed stadiums and deafening cheers celebrating Mostert's first run back, while pundits debate how his presence might alter game plans and statistical projections for the season. The rumor has also sparked interest in Mostert's physical condition and readiness to perform at his peak after previous injuries, raising questions that only time will answer. This buzz could also be a catalyst for the team to attract other key players seeking a competitive and invigorated environment. While no official confirmation has emerged, the blend of fan excitement, media speculation, and insider hints paints a compelling picture of a potential reunion that could be one of the most talked-about stories of the NFL offseason. As this narrative unfolds, the 49ers faithful remain on edge, eagerly awaiting the moment when rumor might become reality, and their hero returns to electrify the field once more. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.